Okay, so we're going to just go through a quick sequence for the head and the neck. And what I want you to do is just begin by rolling your head toward me, toward the right, and then rolling your head to the left. And I want you to make sure that you're not going any farther than feels good. So stay in the range of comfort, whatever that is. Okay. And then stop. Okay, so now you should sort of have an idea what your range is. So I'm going to ask you to roll your head toward me and then roll your head away. But before you even begin to move, let your eyes look to the right, put your tongue in your right cheek, and make sure your eyes are soft. Don't strain. Okay, roll your head to me, eyes right, tongue right. Now, tongue left, eyes left, head left. Eyes right, tongue right, head right, eyes left, tongue left. And just do that. Do that maybe 20 to 25 times. And again, I want you to really pay attention to the imagine, image, the way your neck is turning and sort of feel whatever you feel. Make sure that you stay within the range of what feels really good, really pleasant. Because we're working with your nervous system. So anything that creates pain will interfere. Because your nervous system is hedonistic. It likes pleasure. It doesn't like pain. Oh, look at that. You're already getting further. Just very gentle, rolling from side to side, leading with the eyes and the tongue. And as you're doing that, I'm going to just talk at you a little. So if we had a little more time, I want to keep this short so you can do it yourself, maybe 15 minutes a day. But one of the things that I would demonstrate is I would have you reverse your eyes and your tongue from the direction your head is turning, and it would be like dum 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 dum. Would be really awkward and weird. So part of what you're doing is you're reintegrating that movement with the eyes, the tongue, the neck. Okay, then come to the middle and just stop and just relax. And I want you to notice where you're resting on the back of your head. So we're going to do a little thing. If you slide down toward the, or slide up toward the top of your head, you can do that right now. You notice how your neck curves, your chin comes up, your neck curves. Now slide back down toward the base. And now if you go really far down, you'll notice that you get tense in your throat. So find the sweet spot where your neck is as long as you can make it without creating any tension. So the sweet spot is going to be somewhere toward the bottom of the skull, but maybe not too far. So just, yeah, there, that looks beautiful. Now that's where you want your neck to be. So, and you can start to play with that when you want to. You can play with that when you're standing, you can play with that when you're sitting, but now your head is in really beautiful alignment. Okay, so let's go to our next thing. Want your arms to come straight up in the air as if you were holding a beach ball. So yeah, perfect. Now let your shoulder blades relax. Yeah, down into the mat. Okay. So now what I want you to do is just very gently press your fingertips up as if you wanted to touch the ceiling, and then you can release and let them drop. Press up and drop. So you're sort of giving that muscles between your shoulder blade and the spine a little stretch. And you can just let yourself really enjoy that. Just try to feel, oh, that feels delicious. And the more delicious it feels, the better you're going to get a change. And again, when you're doing it on your own, 20 to 25 times is good. Beautiful. Whenever you're tired or if anything hurts, make the movement smaller or stop and rest. Pain is not your friend. Okay, then just stop for a moment. And now fold your elbows so that you're holding your elbows with your fingertips. And if you like, you can slide your fingers down a little so you're holding your forearms. Yeah, perfect. And then just let your head and your arms go to the right, any amount that feels pleasurable. Head and arms left, rolling across the space between your shoulder blades. Yeah, just keep your hips the same. Yeah. And then you can widen your arms, slide them down a little further so that you can actually bring your elbow. Yeah. But the trick is don't strain. Just do what's easy. So, you know how we say no pain, no gain? Well, in this work, no pleasure, no treasure. And don't try harder, try easier. But again, the focus on the sensation of your upper spine turning, your neck turning, everything just gently moving. Beautiful. Yeah, there you go. And you can stop and let your arms relax down by your sides. Hands flat. Yeah, perfect. And I'm going to make a little adjustment to you right now. I'm going to put my mask on. Um, so you can just kind of feel, I'm going to put you in what I consider optimal. So when I pick up your elbow and I put the pointy part out, that allows you to have a little more room. And then I'm going to pick up your head and lengthen the back of your neck. Perfect. All right. Now using these muscles in your back, right down here on the bottom of your shoulder blade, you're going to gently push your arms down and then release and let them spring back up and down and release and down and release. Yeah. So you feel your shoulder blades sliding across the back of your rib cage. You can image it. And again, keep the movement comfortable, pleasurable. So you feel that delicious stretch in your shoulders as they come down. And again, when you do it on your own, 20 to 25 movements is good. Just small movements, but really just giving yourself a little stretch. And there's a muscle that runs from the top upper corner of your shoulder blade to the back of your skull. It's called the levator scapula, because it elevates the scapula or the shoulder blade. When it's tight, it pulls that shoulder blade up toward your ears. And what you're doing now is giving it a little stretch. And just make one or two more movements and then stop and relax. Just letting yourself completely let go. sensing and feeling your upper back, your neck, your shoulders. Then whenever you're ready, you can roll onto your side and come up to the seated posture. And we're gonna finish by just doing a couple really quick little yoga things. So, all right, beautiful. So the first is just sit however feels good. And that looks beautiful if that feels comfortable to you. And make sure that your pelvis isn't spilling forward. So just come back onto your sits bones and just let your head float up. Beautiful. You have a nice, beautiful alignment. Okay. So let your right arm float out, reaching, and then just elongate from the tip of your shoulder all the way down as if you wanted to touch the floor, but you're not bending, right? And then just gently let your head spill forward, feeling that yummy stretch through the neck. And then come back up and just do that a few times. Stretching and just letting it. And if it creates too much tension, you can also let your chin come down and just go that way a little bit, rolling toward the right. That's good. And coming back up. Maybe do that once or twice. And then relax. And then let the arm come back. And then let's do the other side. So floating out, elongating from the very tip of the shoulder down to the fingers, maybe lowering the fingers. Yeah, just, and then gently letting your head just sink to the left and come back up and sink to the left and come back up. And once more, sink to the left, come back up. And again, you can drop your chin down and come around that way a little. Gets a slightly different part of the neck. And again, and relax. And then just let both arms just relax into your lap for a moment. Maybe do some little shoulder rolls. Okay. And just take a moment and image yourself. Imagine if you were like me looking at you, okay, what we're seeing. Well, actually, what I'm seeing is pretty nice. You have good alignment. But so think about it this way. You have your collarbones coming out, and then they rest. There's a little knob on the end, and it rests against the upper arm bone, the humerus, which also has a little knob. And in the back, you have your shoulder blades sitting on top of your rib cage, and there's a little itty bitty spine that comes off with a little groove that rests against the upper arm bone. So you have these three bones, and it's like a yoke that sits. So the yoke can go up or down on top of your rib cage. So one of the things that I want you to do is let your arms just rest by your sides, and we're going to pull the shoulder blades up, keeping the neck still, all the way up toward your ears. And then, so sorry, we're inhale, hold, squeeze them back. And then as you exhale, slide them down over your rib cage, the shoulder blades. And inhaling up, hold, squeezing them back and down. And once more, up and back and down. And then just relax for a moment. Oh, I love that move. All right, now we're going to do another one. Same thing, arms by your sides, hands just relaxing. But now instead of going up, we're going to go sort of, how do I describe this? We're gonna go directly in as if you wanted to pull your shoulder blades so they were touching right over your spine, but you're not elevating them. We're staying on a level plane. So we're gonna inhale in toward the spine, hold for a second, exhale, drag them down any amount and release. And inhale and then drag them down as you exhale and release. And try to remember when you're doing that too, to don't pop your rib cage out. Try to keep the lower ribs knit just a little. And then once more, inhaling toward the spine, hold, and then exhale, dragging them down and release. And here's the final move. It's called, what's the word for it? It's something about birds. Okay, so we're gonna bring our elbows in close to our rib cage and our hands are gonna be out whatever amount feels good. And as we inhale, we're gonna pull the bottom tips of our shoulder blades together. So your hands will actually kind of move out to the side. So we're gonna inhale and then hold for a second and then exhale, pull them down that tiny bit and release. And then inhale as you hold, and then exhale, pull them down and release. And once more, we're going to inhale, pull them down, and release. Good. How's that feel?
Okay. My back is a little tight today.
Is it your lower back or your upper back?
Mostly upper.
Yeah.
A little bit lower, but mostly upper.
So did that bring you a little bit of relief, you think?
No. It's challenging with strengthening my core because it's really easy for me to go too far.
Right.
And then if I already have abdominal pain and now I have like pain in my abdominal muscles on top of it, it's
right.
Unbearable almost. So
that's why I want you to do these. These
Mhm.
are really simple and it's really important to stay in the range of what's easy, which
Okay.
it's so hard for us because we're so focused on, work, 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 but doesn't serve you.
Okay.
And you actually have a really nice vertical, but we just, these poor overworked traps. And, take my advice, I'm not using it. Anyway, so if
yeah, I mean, it seems like sometimes if I'm super tight up top, I have found that like I have a thermoball and I can kind of like lay over it and relax my upper back and relax my lower back
and let your neck go.
and let my neck go. And that can help like release it when I have tension. So I
Absolutely.
do that like, and I can stabilize with my knees or whatever on the back.
Yeah, and the other thing that you could do is, how big is the ball?
It's pretty big.
Okay, you could also lay backwards over it too, because that's really good. Turn and face the screen for a moment. I'm going to show you. This is a partner yoga thing.
Okay.
But turn that way. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit right next to you. And let me have your arm. I'm going to weave one arm, the other arm. Now I want you to go limp. So you're not working. Ready? Let your head go. Just let your head rest on me. It's fine. And I'm going to begin to bring you up. So you can kind of do that over the ball.
Okay.
Did that feel good to you?
Yes.
Yeah. It's really great when you can do it with a partner. Maybe the two of you can do it too.
Yeah. Yeah, we were gonna do some of the like stabilization mobility exercises as well. My mom's been trying to do because typically for me it's not like bigger like weightlifting and things like that help. It's like
Right.
isometrics.
Yeah, yeah, you don't
So
wanna
for,
do
like,
weightlifting.
so for like next stuff, like like only stuff that's really helped is like, the like isometrics, each side, forward and back.
Right, right.
And that's like the only thing that's helped. It's not even necessarily like active stretching.
See, the thing is, you're strong.
Mhm.
We don't need to build you more. We need you to just relax and lengthen. And here's one last trick. All right, this is a crazy one.
Okay.
So take your hand and put it right in this sore spot right there.
Okay.
Okay. So let your fingers just kind of dig in just a little, just so you feel it, right? Okay, now you're going to let your elbow float up and imagine all that tension's flowing from your fingers right out your elbow and shooting out your elbow. It's a dumb thing, but it works. And then relax. Oh. And then try it with the other side. And you can also do it this way. You can do it cross-body. In fact, that might even be better now that I'm feeling it. Yeah, do it cross-body. Okay. And then let your elbow float up and just let all that tension from that point flow into your fingers right out, shoot it out your elbow. Because that's a really tight spot with you, you know?
Yeah, I tend to go out pretty high. And then my muscles are like, nope.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it needs to go back in.
Right, right.
Wait a second, it needs to go back in.
Yeah, so you
But
need to
it,
be you need
yeah.
to be gentle.
Yeah.
Gentle, gentle, gentle. All right, I'm gonna go off camera for a moment.
Okay.
And so now we have, because